Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to County Court at Law Number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Corp. Plea docket. Today is Thursday, the 16th of September, 2021. It's approximately 2:20 p.m. Set on our docket today are State of Texas versus Chris Rothgainer, cause number 665063, represented by Mr. Ross Brendel. Cause number 640783, State of Texas versus Miguel Vieira, represented by Mr. Ross Brendel. Cause number 656179, State of Texas versus Daniel Dana, represented by Mr. Charles Mice. Cause number 647640, State of Texas versus Jonathan Chavez, represented by Mr. Brian O'Donnell. Cause number 655640, State of Texas versus Jonathan Mariscal, represented by Mr. Gammon Gwynn. Cause number 651842, State of Texas versus Jack Bierklin, represented by Mr. Steve Woolridge. Cause number 647083, State of Texas versus Luis Diaz, represented by Ms. Alma Benavides. Cause number 637241, State of Texas versus Norma Beltran, represented by Mr. Sean Farmer. Cause number 655638, State of Texas versus Edward Girella, represented by Mr. Paul Vasquez. And we have a Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 2, straight probation or deferred adjudication probation on cause 651084, State of Texas versus Laris Witherspoon, represented by Mr. Mario Moreno. Representing the state in all cases will be Mr. Guillermo Flores and Ms. Megan Galloway. And let's see, first batch of folks we're going to take up is cause number 665063, State of Texas versus Chase Rothganger, represented by Mr. Ross Brendel. Mr. Brendel, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great, thank you. Cause number 656179, State of Texas versus Daniel Dana. Mr. Mice, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cause number 647640, State of Texas versus Jonathan J. Chavez, represented by Mr. Brian O'Donnell. Mr. O'Donnell, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cause number 647083, State of Texas versus Luis A. Diaz, represented by Ms. Alma Benavides. Ms. Benavides, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, the first thing I have in mind is to have you identify your signatures on a couple of documents. The first one is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Mr. Rothganger, and cause 665063, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Brendel, as attorney for Mr. Rothganger, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
In cause 656179, Mr. Dana, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mice, as attorney for Mr. Dana, is this your signature on this document also?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. In cause number 647640, Mr. Chavez, is this your signature on this document?
You're muted.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Chavez, can you hear me? You may be muted. I see. Well, you're not muted. Can you hear me, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, I can. Yes, that is my signature. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, all good. Thank you. That is your signature. Is that correct? Mr. Chavez, can you hear me? Is that your signature on this document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Mr. O'Donnell, as attorney for Mr. Chavez, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz, in cause 647083, is this your signature on this document? Mr. Diaz, you got to turn your microphone back on. There you go.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, thank you, sir. And Ms. Benavides, as attorney for Mr. Diaz, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions, that purports to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Rothganger, in cause 665063, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Dana, in cause 656179, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Chavez, in cause 647640, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is.
Thank Thank you. And Mr. Diaz, in cause 647-083, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Each of you, by signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Mr. Rothganger?
Yes.
That's correct, Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Is that correct, Mr. Chavez?
That is correct.
And is that correct, Mr. Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Brendel, the attorney for Mr. Rothganger, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Mice, as attorney for Mr. Dana.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. O'Donnell, as attorney for Mr. Chavez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Ms. Benavides, as attorney for Mr. Diaz.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rothganger, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Dana.
No.
Mr. Dana, if you are not a citizen of the United States.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm a citizen. I'm sorry.
All right, all good. Thank you. Same question, Mr. Chavez. Are you a United States citizen, sir?
I am a citizen, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz, same question for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Attorney for Mr. Rothganger and Mr. Brendel, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Mice, as attorney for Mr. Dana.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. O'Donnell, as attorney for Mr. Chavez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Ms. Benavides, as attorney for Mr. Diaz.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Paper shuffling here. Okay, there are no motions on Mr. Rothganger's case. Is that correct? It stays at EWI greater than 1.5?
That's correct, Judge.
Mr. Rothganger, in clause 665-063, to the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir? My paperwork says no contest. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. Is there an agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor. $850 fine, court costs, 1 year Bexar County jail, probated for 12 months, 48 hours of community service, DWI education, VIP, CAT SNP, Smart Start mobile device for half the term, regular UAs, and pay restitution, if any, to Javier de la Vega, Shane Areen, and Hyatt Regency.
I've got Javier de la Vega, Shane Arlene, and Hyatt Regency. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me do a little writing here, guys. Hang on just a second. And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement, Mr. Brendel?
Yes, Your Honor. And also, the pretrial services told him to get both the devices, including the interlock in his car, which he doesn't need. He does have this mobile Smart Start mobile, so I will be submitting a motion to remove the interlocks in his car since he doesn't really need that. It was just a miscommunication with pretrial services.
Not a problem. That'll be exactly correct. Okay, Mr. Rothganger, in clause 665-063, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content greater than 0.15. I find you guilty. I assess 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year, 48 hours community service, $850 fine plus court costs, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, Smart Start mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day for half the term, which is 6 months. Regular urinalysis test, pay restitution, if any, to Javier de la Vega, Shane Arlene, and Hyatt Regency. If they come back and say they each want $3 million and y'all don't think that's fair, y'all need to get back with us. We'll have a restitution hearing. Recall all pretrial services bond conditions. Mr. Rothganger, how many blows a day is your Smart Start mobile set at?
3.
All right, you need the contact pretrial services need to be set at 4 blows a day, okay?
Okay.
When you get out of here today, just call them up and say that they're supposed to be set at 4. If they need an order or need something else, get back with your lawyer. He'll get with me and we'll fix it.
All right.
Pat, do you want to tell them about probation stuff?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, those of you that are going to be granted probation or deferred adjudication, which is a type of probation, you need to know that you will be contacted within 48 hours by the probation department setting up your orientation. If they do not contact you within 48 hours, which we normally say if they have not contacted you by next Tuesday morning, you are responsible for contacting the probation department. I need all the defendants and attorneys to write this phone number down. And then I will also put it in the chat room for everybody. The phone number is 210-335-7446. Because if you do not contact them within that 48 hours and they have not talked to you, they may issue a warrant for your arrest. So again, I will put the number down in the chat for everybody and y'all can have it there, but be sure that you have it. All right, Judge.
Let me confirm Mr. Rothganger's first name. Is it Chase, C-H-A-S-E, or is it some other name?
Yeah, that's right.
Chase, C-H-A-S-E. All right, all good. That's what we got. Okay, anything further from the state? Go ahead.
I noticed Mr. Rothganger may still have a warrant. I had resolved it previously with the court because it had to do with them saying that he needed the ignition interlock in his car and then saying, oh, wait, we need a smart start. So I think it was supposed to be lifted, but I just wanted to, just put that out there because I
All right.
do
we know
show
if
maybe they still have
If
a
he
warrant.
still has a warrant or not, Ross?
My system shows that, but I just wanted to make sure because the warrant
I
was.
believe he does, Your Honor. You can double check. If I believe he does.
All right, we're going to recall it, whatever it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And was that as a result of pretrial bond conditions? I assume I ordered him to get a smart start, and for whatever reason, he didn't make it over there timely. Is that kind of what where we're at on that one?
Well, they actually they told him that he needed the interlock in his car, and then they called back and said, "No, wait, you need the smart start mobile." So they issued the warrant. So it's, they gave him the wrong thing. So now he has both of them.
All right.
So
Well, we're going to recall it.
that's
It
what
may
happened.
not go on the computer, Mr. Rothganger, until tomorrow morning. So try not to be colorful and get high profile to get pulled over, and we'll be okay. Okay. So we're good on that one. All right. Mr. Dana and cross 656-179. Let's see what we're doing with you. State, you got a motion on this one.
Yes, Judge. State moves to waive the enhancement paragraph and proceed on a Class B DWI.
No objection from the defense, that will be granted. Okay, and it was a greater than 1.5, I'm guessing. Okay, this case originally was a greater than 1.5 DWI, is that correct?
And
No,
I have it
Judge.
as a
Oh,
DWI
the
second.
Second, all right, so we're waiving the second enhancement, correct?
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay, once again, no objection from the defense, that will be granted. Therefore, Mr. Dana, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
You're in agreement for Mr. Dana.
Yes.
Yes, Judge. $800 fine, court cost, 6 months, Bexar County Jail, probated for 16 months, 48 hours of community service, DWI intervention, VIP live, cat snip, Smart Start mobile device for half the term, and reimburse $60 to DPS, and that's for the lab, Judge.
Defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
And my form says RUAs, but everybody that's on probation has RUAs anyway, so that's not really a major change. Okay, Mr. Dana, on clause 656-179, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated. First offense, I find you guilty. I assess 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 16 months. A $800 fine plus court costs. 48 hours community service, DWI intervention program, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety new intervention program, Smart Start mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day for 8 months, $60 reimbursement to the Texas Department of Public Safety. And we already talked about regular UAs everybody has anyway. Are you on a Smart Start mobile device at this time, Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Are you blowing 4 times a day?
Yes.
Good man. All right. That's all I got for Mr. Dana. Anybody got anything else we want to talk about on Mr. Dana's case?
Your Honor, I believe he has got a warrant out there, Judge.
Yeah, we're gonna recall all prior pretrial service warrants if that's what it's for. If we robbed a bank or something, then all bets are off. It's a different deal.
Right. Okay, Judge, thank you.
So we're recalling all pretrial services, bond conditions, and warrants on all these cases when we're finished entering the plea. All right. Good luck, Mr. Dana, and thank you, Mr. Mice. Y'all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You bet. Let's see, Mr. Chavez, what we're gonna do with you. State, you got a motion on Mr. Chavez case. What a nice state. State, make your motion. You waiving an enhancement, I'm guessing?
Yes, Your Honor, the state moves to waive the 0.15 enhancement.
No
No
objection.
objection from the defense, that will be granted. Therefore, Mr. Chavez, in clause 647-640, the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Chavez?
There is, Your Honor. It's 6 months Bear County Jail, probated for 12 months, $500 fine, court cost, 48 hours community service, DWI education, victim impact panel, cat snip, and Smart Start mobile for half the term.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement for Mr. Chavez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chavez, in clause 647-640, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I find you guilty. I assess 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $500 fine plus court cost, 48 hours community service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day for 6 months. Are you on a Smart Start mobile at this time, Mr. Chavez?
Currently, I am not.
Okay. I think they're going to give you 10 days or something to get that on. Just make sure it's at 4 blows a day. If they try to give you one for 3, tell them you can't do that. All right. Anything any further from the state or the defense on Mr. Chavez?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Chavez. Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Y'all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet.
Are Mr. Rothganger and I dismissed too?
Sure. Back on the record on 665-063, State of Texas versus Chris Rothgainer. Go ahead.
I just was asking for free to leave the Zoom
I
conference.
think you need to explain what's going on with Mr. Vera before you do that.
Okay. Mr. Vera, I talked to him last night. I haven't heard from him today. I'm not sure. Maybe something happened. I'm not sure yet. I haven't gotten a reason why I haven't heard from him. So that's pretty much it for that.
All right. As a matter of the record, as of right now, he's FTA. I'm going to issue warrant for him, but that probably won't go out till tonight, which means it won't become active till the morning. So if you can find him before then, you've got my cell number. Text me and let me know you got him, and you can do something tomorrow or next week or something, and we won't put a warrant out for him. Fair enough?
Okay. Yeah, something might have happened, or I'll get a hold of
Well,
him.
I'm sure something happened, and it was he didn't show up. And I don't know if that was alien intervention or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Still,
I'm surprised. I thought
still
he
in
was-
Kabul with everybody else. I don't know what's going on with him, but you can find out for me.
I'll find out. Thank you.
All right. And then you have an issue on Mr. Rothganger?
No, I guess that's it.
No, he's already done his plea, Your Honor.
I understand, but Mr. Brendel indicated he had a question on something.
Oh, no, just, I was gonna submit the motion to remove the interlock from his car, and then that warrant was paid. That's it.
All
That's
right.
all for that one.
If he's on a smart start, you can take the ignition interlock off. If you need an order or something from me, let me know.
Yeah, they make me have an order for the company to remove it.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Your
No
Honor.
sweat. Take care. All right, they're back on, are we on Mr. Diaz now, I'm thinking?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's see what we're doing with Mr. Diaz. Okay, this is a DWI first and it stays a DWI first. We all in agreement? Mr. Diaz,
Yes.
647-083 to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Diaz?
There
Yes.
is, Your Honor. The agreement is a $500 fine, court cost, 180 days probated for 1 year, 48 hours community service, DWI education, victim impact panel, cat snip, Smart Start Mobile for half the term, and $60 to DPS.
Okay, in my notes, I've got that you have changed it from 1 year probation to 364 days probation. Does that make sense?
Your Honor, that was an error.
Okay, so it's gonna be 1 year probation.
It's gonna be 1 year, Your Honor.
That's
Everybody
correct.
agree? All right, we're good. Okay, make sure I get this right. Mr. Diaz, in cause 647-083, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 year, 48 hours of community service. What was the fine amount on this case? It's missing. Oh, $500, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
$500 plus court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Programs, Smart Start Mobile at 4 blows a day for 6 months. And are you on a Smart Start Mobile currently, Mr. Diaz?
No, I'm not.
All right, they're gonna give you like 10 days to get it. Just make sure it's 4 blows. Don't let them put 3 or 6 or 8 or 12 or something on there. It needs to be a 4, okay?
Yes, sir. I sure will.
Anything further from the state of the defense of Mr. Diaz?
Nothing from the state, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you very much,
Nothing.
Mr. Benavides. Good luck, Mr. Diaz.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we have Gammon back now, do we not?
Yes, Your Honor. And I've also sent you a copy of the defense consent for a plea through video conference for Jack Burton.
All right, let's take 5 minutes.
Yes, Your Honor. What I was hoping is a couple of minutes with the state, and he's going to plead, but I'd like a couple of minutes to,
Well, you take your break, Your
All
Honor.
right, 5-minute break, Gammon. I'm gonna go get the documents I need and you can talk with the state. And we're
thank
all
you.
good. All right, thanks.
Go into one, Mr. Gwynn, go into room 1.
Thank you.
It's a wrap, baby.
And I got you. There you go. Okay, Mr. Diaz, you may leave.
Oh, thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, remember to
good-
call probation if you haven't heard from them, okay?
I sure will. Thank you very much
All
for
right.
the reminder.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye.
we got Gammon back.
Let me go into the room, Your Honor.
Go get him.
I'll go get him.
Thank you. Mr. Gwynn, you get your business done?
I said, I guess so, Judge. I think we're good to go.
All right. Our next batch is going to be called 655-640 State of Texas versus Jonathan C. Mariscal. Is that how you spell it? Mariscal?
Mariscal.
Mariscal. All right. Representative. by
Judge,
Mr.
I
Gammon.
believe Mr. Gammon, I think it would be in the best interest for you to request a reset.
I'm sorry. Who is this going to request a reset?
Me.
Gammon,
Your
you
Honor.
request a reset?
That's Gammon. Yes, sir.
Okay. What are we resetting for?
So the state, I think, will give me some wonderful mercy for my client, and I would really appreciate it.
Just
Where are we
Mr.
off on the big deal of the day? What are you looking for that you can't get?
Well, since the DA is going to have to do it, I don't know. Judge, I know you have a lot of power, but would be a different charge than what it is right now. I know your power, Judge. I've known you for many, many years.
Say what is it you
No,
want?
well, the charge is not going to get changed. There may be an offer on the same charge.
Okay,
But
so
the
we give
charge
you
is not gonna change.
another week, will y'all be able to figure it out one way or the other?
Yeah, I have to review some documents that Mr. Gammon just sent right now.
Yeah,
so.
Mr. Gwynn just drafted those up last night. He's pretty creative about this kind of.
Well, I did get my undergrad in English, Your Honor. Of course, it was predominantly poetry.
If it's okay with the state and Mr. Gwynn, let's just reset for next Thursday at 2. Will that work for everybody?
Tremendous for me.
And if you need any more time, just get up with me and we'll go from there. But that's right now, that's what we'll do. Now,
Is that all right, Ms. Galway?
No objections, Your Honor.
all right,
Thank you.
that's the plan.
You all have a safe, healthy, and beautiful week.
Let's start over, so to speak. All right, our remaining cases are call 651-842 State of Texas versus Jack Bierklin, Representative Mr. Steve Woolridge. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Woolridge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Call 637-241 State of Texas versus Ms. Norma Beltran, represented by Mr. Sean Farmer. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Farmer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Call 655-638 State of Texas versus Edward R. Girella, represented by Mr. Paul Vasquez. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Vasquez?
Ready.
Okay. Call 651-084 State of Texas versus Laris Witherspoon. This is a Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 2. Plea and probation. Representative Mr. Mario Moreno. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Moreno?
We are ready, Your Honor.
All good. Thank you. First document I need each of you to identify your signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which purports to have your signature on it. In fact, Mr. Bierklin, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Woolridge, as attorney for Mr. Bierklin, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pat, administratively, my copy of the defendant's consent to plea by video conference for Mr. Bierklin does not have the defendant's name printed on it, so the clerks can do that for us if they would.
I will let them know, Your Honor.
Okay, and in clause 637-241, Miss Beltran, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Your thing is on mute.
Yes, Honor.
Thank you. That's all I need. Appreciate it. And Mr. Farmer, as attorney for Miss Beltran, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Gorilla, in clause 655-638, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Vasquez, as attorney for Mr. Gorilla, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is.
Is it G as in gorilla or G as in Gigi? How do you want me to pronounce your name, Mr. Gorilla?
It is G as in Girella.
All right. All good. Thank you, sir. And in cause 651-084, Mr. Witherspoon, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Sure.
Thank you. And Ms. Moreno, as attorney for Mr. Witherspoon, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. My next document is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Bierklin, in cause 651-842, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is that yes?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Beltran, in cause 637-241, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Gurella, in cause 655-638, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Witherspoon, in cause 651-084, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Sure.
Thank you. By signing this document, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Mr. Bierklin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is that correct, Ms. Beltran?
Yes, Honor.
Thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Gurella?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And is that correct, Mr. Witherspoon?
Sure.
Thank you. As attorney for Mr. Bierklin, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent? Mr. Woolridge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Farmer as attorney for Ms. Beltran.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Vasquez as attorney for Mr. Gurella.
I have and he is.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Moreno as attorney for Mr. Witherspoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bierklin, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Same question for Ms. Beltran.
Yes, I am, sir.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Gurella.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Witherspoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. As attorney for Mr. Bierklin, Mr. Woolridge, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Farmer, as attorney for Ms. Beltran.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Vasquez, as attorney for Mr. Gurella.
They have.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Moreno, as attorney for Mr. Witherspoon.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Let's see. And state, I think you got a motion on this one, do you not?
Yes, Your Honor. The state moves to add paragraph 2 to the information, and that paragraph is an obstruction of highway paragraph, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection from the defense. That will be granted. Let me do some writing here.
No, Judge, no objection.
Okay, paragraph 2, state's motion to amend the information to add paragraph 2 alleging obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense is granted. State, do you have any other motion?
Yes, Your Honor. The state moves to waive and abandon the first paragraph containing the DWI offense.
Once again, no objection from the defense. State's motion to waive paragraph 1 and proceed on paragraph 2, obstruction of a highway, is granted. Therefore, Mr. Bierklin, to the charge of obstruction of a highway, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is that acceptable, state? Sometimes you require guilty. It doesn't matter to me.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. State, the court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of obstruction of a highway. Is there an agreement for Mr. Bierklin?
Yes, sir.
And what's the agreement, state?
Your Honor, the agreement is a $500 fine, court cost, 16 months deferred adjudication, DWI education, victim impact panel, CAT SNP, Smart Start Mobile for half the term, 48 hours community service, $120 to DPS, and regular UAs.
Ah, 2 labs. Boy, they're banging us. And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Judge, that is. And Judge, Mr. Buchanan is babysitting his 6-month-old daughter. That's the background noise you hear.
I just thought that was an attempt to get mitigation from the court for Mr. Bierklin. I thought it worked.
If I-
It was working very well right there. It worked
Thank
fine.
you, Judge.
Okay, let's make sure I get this straight. Mr. Bierklin, in clause 651-842, court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of obstruction of a highway. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 16 months deferred adjudication probation. Assess a $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock at 4 blows a day for 8 months, which is 1/2 the term, and $120 in reimbursement to Texas Department of Public Safety for 2 lab fees. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Bierklin?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bierklin, are you currently on the Smart Start mobile device?
No, sir.
All right, just make, they're going to give you 10 days to get one. Just make sure it's set at 4 blows a day, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's all we need. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Bierklin?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Bierklin. Thank you, Mr. Woolridge. Y'all are out of here.
Thank you, Judge.
You bet y'all. Let's see what we're doing with Miss Beltran. Miss Beltran, to the charge of theft under $100, enhanced. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Miss Beltran?
Yes,
Agreed,
Judge.
Your Honor.
$100 fine, court costs, 3 days Bear County Jail, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Miss Beltran, in clause 637-241, court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of theft under $100 enhanced. I find you guilty. I says 3 days in the Bear County Jail, a $100 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state of the defense on Miss Beltran?
No,
No,
thank you,
Your
Your Honor.
Good luck, Miss Beltran. Thank you, Mr. Farmer. Y'all are excused.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Let's see what we're doing, Mr. Gorilla. Mr. Gorilla, the charge of evading arrest or detention. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
And is there an agreement for Mr. Gorilla?
Your Honor, the agreement is a $150 fine. Court cost, 36 days Bear County Jail. Credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. And if it pleases the court, we ask that this judgment be satisfied, Your Honor.
And Mr. Vasquez, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Judge.
Mr. Gorilla, are we going to have any future problems between you and the San Antonio Police or the Bear County Sheriff's Department, any of those colorful organizations?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Excellent answer, sir. Mr. Gorilla, in clause 655-638, the court accepts your plea of guilty to evading arrest or detention. I find you guilty. I says 36 days in the Bear County Jail, $150 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense of Mr. Gorilla?
There is, Judge, as a condition of his bond, his pretrial condition was to have GPS. We need to have that taken off.
We're going to recall all pretrial services, bond conditions, and warrants. So we're good on that. It won't take effect till tomorrow. So that's when everything you can start turning stuff in.
Very
Okay,
well.
Mr. Vasquez, you owe each of us in our court a margarita, because when you change positions, that put about 200 cases in front of us. We had to do change of attorney on, and it cost an incredible amount of time. Didn't it, Pat?
Y'all know I always take care of y'all. That is not a problem.
We're good.
You better, because you caused us problems.
Judge, this one got taken care of. This is the one that had 9 cases. We're all done. They're all closed
Oh,
out.
wonderful. Well done.
All right, Judge. Have a good
All
one.
right. This is called number 651084, State of Texas versus Laris Witherspoon. This is the Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 2, plea and probation agreement. And let's see what we're doing here. So, Mr. Witherspoon in cause 651084 to the charge. Now, State, are you reducing this to straight DWI?
Yes, Your Honor, the state
All right.
moves.
Go ahead and make your motion, please.
Your Honor, the state moves to waive and abandon the 0.15 enhancement paragraph.
No objection from the defense, that will be granted. Okay, Mr. Witherspoon to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Witherspoon and the VTC?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be 12 months deferred adjudication, the $1,000 Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service probated for military service, DWI education, victim impact panel, Smart Start Mobile for half the term, and successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court.
And we're going to do an outpatient drug with either the Veterans Administration or VTC designated provider, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Got it. And Mr. Marino, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my understanding.
Okay, Mr. Witherspoon, in clause 651084, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation. This has a $1,000 all-inclusive veteran treatment court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, outpatient drug through either the Veterans Administration or a VTC designated provider, requiring successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Let me go over one other document I have. I'm now looking at a document, excuse me, entitled Track 2 Post Adjudication, which is a contract by and between you and your attorney in the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And the attorney for Mr. Witherspoon, Mr. Moreno, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I see a scratchy little signature of somebody named Guillermo Flores. Would that be an assistant criminal district attorney?
Yes, Judge.
That was a joke, Guillermo. Okay, we're good. Mr. Witherspoon, what'd you do in the military, sir?
Operations NCO, sir.
Are you Army or some other one of those other alleged services?
Army, Your Honor.
Did you go to the war somewhere in there?
I went to Iraq twice, Your Honor.
Okay, well, thanks for your service, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Witherspoon, I think that takes care of that. And Mr. Mora, I assume, is going to contact Mr. Witherspoon at some appropriate time and get him going in the right direction. Is Ron not with us today? Yeah, he is. I see a shark. Ron, are you still there?
I'm here, sir. I'm here, Judge. I'll give him a call here shortly.
All good. All right. Thank you, Mr. Witherspoon. And thank you, Mr. Moreno.